Hey, human family, how are you? Welcome to another episode of Fully Alive Again. You guys, today I want to talk about this elusive thing called happiness. It's the most sought after commodity in the world. After narcissistic abuse, it can seem so far away. However, if we are going to achieve a higher level of life satisfaction and happiness, we have to do different things in our current circumstances. So let's do what we do and dive deep.
No tears, no fears. Fully alive again after these years.
The great scholar and thought leader, the late Joseph Campbell, once said, "There is no road to happiness. Happiness is the road." Joseph Campbell, who authored the book called The Hero's Journey, The Hero of a Thousand Faces, a must read, was a firm believer that all of us are a hero, that each and every one of us are in an epic battle, a battle to save our own life, a battle to bring purpose into our life, our battle to achieve inner peace and happiness. And it is no less treacherous than any battle you've ever witnessed on the silver screen or ever read in a novel. No matter who we are, we will never be exempt from this battle. It doesn't matter our age, our gender, our ethnicity, our income. This is a reality of human existence. So the question is, are you going to fight for your happiness? Are you going to develop the skills for happiness? Because I firmly believe happiness is a skill. It is not money. It is not relationships. It is not all of the external things that we've been conditioned to believe. It is a skill. And the narcissists never possess that skill and or ability for real inner peace and happiness. And this is why they stripped it from you, me, we. They hate our happiness. Our job, I believe, is to find that happiness because nothing hurts them more and sits their ass down than your happiness. And I'm not saying do this out of revenge. I'm saying do it for yourself and then enjoy the rewards of watching the narcissist suffer from your happiness. And I really believe it's achievable. When I first started YouTube, I was a mess. I was full of anger. My happiness was buried. It would come up every now and then, but I didn't realize what a bitter old man I had become. So I don't want to digress into that, but I want to show you, I want to share with you today what I believe is a fantastic tool that you can utilize immediately to start to increase your happiness. All right, you guys, so let's take a look. Now, I want you to think about the difficulties of living. No matter if you're in an indigenous tribe trying to get food, water, survive the elements of nature, no matter if you're in a first world country and you have to pay bills and you have to deal with traffic, you have to deal with constant bodies of people everywhere, the rigors of life. Think about that in your own lot in life for a moment. Now, add to that the realities of human predators who are energy thieves, who are energy vampires out in the world who are constantly trying to drain you of energy and happiness. Now, think about, do you think that happiness would be more of a skill than it is a happening? See, many people think either I'm happy or I'm not, and that's just the way life is. It's not like that, you guys. There's a science to successful living. There's a science to inner peace. There's a science to happiness. Remember, I started this episode with, there is no road to happiness. Happiness is the road. If you have a destination set in your mind of when you will be happy, you're not going to be happy getting there. And it may take months, weeks, decades, years to achieve the things that you think are going to make you happy. That is erroneous. That way of thinking, if you really slow down and think about it, and I've thought that way most of my life, that way of thinking is preposterous. It's ignorant. Happiness is more intelligent than that. Happiness has a fluidity that is always there by the way that we think, the way that we communicate with ourselves. Happiness is a level of awareness. When we have consistent awareness of our energy, of our life energy, we can better differentiate the difference between disagreement versus disapproval. This is the takeaway from today's show. Disagreement is in opinions or facts. You see, opinions are what eventually creates facts. The Wright brothers had an opinion that they could make a flying machine. The facts were that it was impossible to fly. Technology shows us time and time again that opinions become facts. There is living technology. There is a science to happiness. There are skills for happiness. Part of that science and skill is to stay in the disagreement column. You see, when you go over to the disapproval column, disapproval is based on emotions and fear. Fear blocks intelligence. Fear prevents us from being cognizant and being aware that we're eroding our energy, which leads to unhappiness. That we're getting caught in the good opinions or the disillusionment of others. Narcissists live in the world of disapproval. Whenever you disagree with them or hold them accountable, they jump into the darkness that exists inside of them. This kind of thinking is becoming more consistent throughout our society. We are going to disagree. Thinking is disagreement. Disagreement is not bad. Disapproval is bad. Does that make sense? When you're in disagreement, you can have a discussion with passion, enthusiasm, and confidence. When you are in the column of disapproval, you are passive aggressive. You are timid. You are ashamed. Many people call that agreeable. You see, passion and enthusiasm is a sign of life. Doesn't mean you have to be a motivational speaker or a cheerleader, but how enthusiastic are you about your life? That is a level of happiness, of optimism for the future. Confidence is a prerequisite for everything in life. You can be competent at something and lack confidence, and your competency doesn't matter. You can be incompetent at something, and if you have confidence, you will learn it. You will master it. The world of narcissism wants you to live in a passive-aggressive life. They want to see you suffer. They want to see you angry and do things covertly, or live in a timid world, or live in shame. It is on the contrary of passion, enthusiasm, and confidence. How that looks is different on every person. How you wear your passion, how you wear your enthusiasm, how you wear your confidence. Disapproval wants everybody to be agreeable because it's timid. That is not how we are built as a species. It's how we've been conditioned to operate from narcissism in our cultures, in our society, and in our relationships with these monsters. Disagreement, humor, power, growth. We can laugh at ourselves. If you can't laugh at yourself, you're taking yourself way too serious. That gives you power. That gives you the ability to grow, to accept the things that are wrong with you, or that you may need to change, or you may not. You just accept them. You can laugh at life. You can laugh at some of the things that happen to you. What else is there? Self-loathing? Stagnation? Guilt, fear, shame? Disagreement is the ability to transcend things, to find humor and power, because you can grow when you disagree. When you think that humor or power and growth are disapproval of where you're at or what you're doing, you go deeper into self-loathing and stagnation. The disapproval column is where the narcissist and a narcissistic society has been grooming you to be. You want to have your power. That doesn't mean that you don't have humility, that you want to laugh. Some people maybe need to stop laughing so much. Maybe there's too much humor in their life that's preventing them from growth. But when you disagree with someone, you can laugh. If you disapprove of someone, there's no laughter there. Does that make sense, you guys? All of this is releasing energy that gives you the ability to maintain your inner peace and happiness. Can there be happiness without any humor or laughter? Really? Really? Can there be happiness without any self-power? Can there be happiness without growth? You see where I'm going with this, you guys? All of this is always a choice. Do you disagree with happiness? Do you think that you don't deserve happiness? Do you disagree with power and confidence? That's what the narcissist doesn't want you to have or possess. In fact, they will label it narcissism if they get an opportunity, and label self-loathing, stagnation, timidness, shame, and fear as a good thing, has something that makes them comfortable in their own skin. I want each and every one of you to laugh, to joy, to dance, to be happy, to grow, to find your power, to be powerful in your lot in life. Because that's the only way that you will discover happiness again. The narcissist has thrust us into disapproval. Just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean they disapprove of you. When you live in that world of disapproval, sadness and unhappiness is an inevitability. Confidence is not bad. Happiness is not bad. Just think about how the narcissist had to fake their smile. Just think about how they really couldn't laugh. I mean, just think about it. If you really look at a narcissist in your time with them, and if you have the opportunity to study these monsters closely, they fake a laugh. And when they smile, it's not a real smile. All that they can do is smirk. I mean, just examine what they projected into you and start to make a choice to eradicate those things, to remove them. How do we do that? By behaving differently and doing different things in the same current circumstances. Happiness is not a destination. Happiness is part of our road to healing. Happiness is now. This is the only life we have. And it is full of obstacles, difficulties. And the more you muster up to face them, the happier you become. Yesterday was one of the most difficult, the last 3 days have been one of the most difficult things I've gone through. I was having computer problems. I mentioned earlier in a video early this week my personal things that were going on with my daughters graduating from high school. It was just a real ugly time. But you know what? I mustered through. I fixed a computer glitch that was threefold that in my wildest dreams I thought I wouldn't be able to figure out. And I tell you what, from going through that pain and that difficulty, I'm walking a few inches taller today. I really am, and I mean that. I was able to do that because I didn't go into disapproval of my self-talk. I didn't start to tell myself that I was cursed, that life's never going to work out for you, that every time you go 2 steps forward, something happens and triggers you and takes you 2 steps back. I went into disagreement mode. I disagree with the way the world is treating me. I will get through this. This too will pass. I didn't go into disapproval, self-talk, disapproval of myself. I hope this makes sense, you guys, because this can save you energy externally in interactions with people and when you're hit with narcissistic macro or micro aggressions and you're triggered. And it can help you internally when you're in your self-talk and that negative inner critic is sending you into the world of disapproval. Since I'm sad, everybody should be sad. I disapprove of your happiness. Since I feel powerless, you should be powerless because I disagree of your power. Because I'm stagnant and I'm not growing, you shouldn't be able to grow. I disapprove of that. Do you see what I'm getting to? And this is an inner war that we all have to fight. And that's the hero's journey that Joseph Campbell was talking about. It's a battle in how you use words, because there's a lot of word salad inside of us. And words shape our reality. They are limited, but they still shape our reality. Are you living in a world of disagreement? I disagree when I'm not disciplined with myself. I don't disapprove of my existence because I wasn't disciplined in a certain area or I made a mistake. You get what I'm saying here, you guys? Play with this. Let that marinate and think about this. This list could go on for pages, for a couple of chapters of line item lists. All right? Disagreement versus disapproval is playing out in our psychology on a consistent basis, and it frees up more energy and more awareness of your happiness than you can imagine. The ability to disagree increases your power. To feel like someone who disagreed with you is disapproving of you, or to disapprove of others who disagreed with you, is weakness. It drains your energy. It makes you weaker, not stronger. Now remember, I'm talking about sentient human beings here. This is about your happiness. When dealing with a narcissist, of course we disapprove of them. They're repugnant. They're not in this equation. This is your self-talk of what they're trying to project into your head on how you communicate with yourself and others. Disagreement is is the place you want to be. Disapproval is a sad, empty, hollow place because everybody becomes your enemy. Everybody's hurting you wherever you go. You're just hurt, 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 hurt. But disagreement is water off of a duck's back. Hey, he disagrees. He thinks this music's better. I think this music's better. He thinks I should live this way. I think I should live this way. You know, it's just disagreements. It's not that big a deal. You argue them out. You search for the facts. You search for opportunity for growth that creates new facts, and you move on. And if you if you disagree with each other, wonderful. And if you find a road to a more cohesive understanding, wonderful. I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say here. I don't know if I conveyed this as well as I wanted to, but let's put this to bed, you guys. I deeply appreciate you guys coming through today. You know I got nothing but love for you. And please leave your comments below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so now. And most of all, always remember, it's better to be disapproved of, damaged, betrayed, lied to by an ass clown narcissist than to be an ass clown narcissist. Walk tall, you guys. Don't you dare give up on yourself and give up on happiness and finding your laughter and passion for living. Don't you do that. Stay in the fight. All right? And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Until then, peace. Be well.
No tears, no fears. Fully alive again after